How's everybody doing today? Welcome on back for another episode of Emano Talk. I'm actually doing a couple of firsts on this episode. So the first of the first would be that I am doing a phone interview for the first time, and the second thing would be is that I have my first female rapping artist on the show. So everybody, give it up for Cherele. What's up, Cherele?
Hey, what's up?
Nothing right now, just vibing. It's a beautiful day out here in South Florida. You're in Atlanta, right?
I'm in Atlanta. It's cold and rainy up here.
It's
So
cold and
I
rainy.
wish I was in South Florida. Yeah.
Well, honestly, it's a little muggy today, but it's always a beautiful Sunday in my eyes. I'm always just trying to make the most out of the day, but hopefully all is well
So
out in Atlanta. How's your week been?
it's been great. It's been busy, but it's been great. I can't complain.
Okay, okay. Well, I gotta say, I can't get enough of this tape you dropped. Give 'em hell. That shit's fire.
Yeah.
Uh,
Thank you.
Nah, anytime. I mean, a majority of it, seems like remixes. But your vocal capabilities are all there as far as like your rapping capabilities is definitely there. I
Yeah.
love how it starts off with the popping my collar track, and then you start your way with that. What's the name of the track that you named it as? I think it was Payback or something like that.
Yeah. Way back. Way
Oh,
back.
way back, way back. Sorry about that. But yeah, I love how it
Oh,
started off with that, and then it goes into the ski beat and all that, and I just really love the whole vibe of it. It was short, but it was enough to like really like get hooked onto your music. Like you're really dope, honestly. Like your lyrical capabilities are through the roof. I mean, a lot of people I feel underestimate female rappers nowadays, especially. But it's like you're just vocally like stepping on people's throats, like showing them that you got nothing to hold back.
yeah. I really appreciate that.
Nah, anytime. When it comes to like music, how did you end up getting into music?
I've been doing music since I was a kid, to be honest. So it was just like always around me. As far as rapping, I even started when I was in elementary school, and pretty much took it seriously. Uh, like after high school, kind of going into college. So music has just always been a part of me since since I can remember. So
Was there like a certain like moment that you realized like yo music is where it's at, like that's your heart, like it's your passion?
yeah, I mean, as a kid, to be honest, I was always writing, always rapping, making up songs, making up, little rhymes and stuff. And it was fun to me, but I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And I just told my family that's what I wanted to do and kind of just went from there.
No, and you haven't looked back since. That shit's dope though. I mean, like I said earlier, I mean this tape really, really, really like puts you out there. And as like a female artist, like did you feel like there was anything you had to like think about like before jumping into the music industry? Because one thing I asked my previous female guests is that the music industry when it comes to females nowadays can be a scary place, especially like when you see stories about like what happened with like Taylor Swift and like Kesha and people like that they get taken advantage of essentially within the music industry. Was there anything
Yeah.
like you felt like you had to like think twice about like jumping into this line of work?
I think more so I just went into it with a bunch of confidence, and then because of different situations, I had to kind of take a step back. It's more so learning the business side of things and making sure I'm not getting taken advantage of in those ways or contractually speaking. So I do my best to study up and learn the business side of things. So if I'm in a room, full of people that are trying to take advantage of me, I won't. It won't happen.
Yeah, you just to remain a step ahead, and I think that's one thing like a lot of people overlook when it comes to music. Because one thing I've always like attributed to like Jay Z was that a lot of people said he goes into a room and he's always the last one to speak. So it's always like as if like he already knew what
Yeah,
he had to do. He was just waiting to see like, all right, well, who's about what when it comes to my image, my game plan, and things like that. So it sounds like you have that kind of idea
absolutely.
going.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's very important.
Yeah, business minds are huge nowadays. And like I think that's one of the things that I love about like where music is going nowadays is like the independency for the artist. Like each and every artist now is capable of doing things all by themselves. And like Chance the Rapper, I mean obviously he's like the prime example of that now is that he hasn't had to sign any sort of a deal as far as like a record label, and he's been able to, make himself become a superstar. Do you feel
Yeah,
like with that kind of like blueprint, there's something for you to follow, or like something that other artists that maybe are watching you could use for their own, benefit?
yeah, absolutely. I think Chance is a really great example of remaining independent, keeping your creative vision, but also, on a major platform and making, a huge gain financially. off of your music independently, and it's important, and that's important for me as well. The game has shifted towards, independent artists winning and being at the forefront, and not necessarily needing a big label backing or signing some crazy deal. And I think it's very important to own the majority of your masters and publishing and keeping things independent, because it's possible right now in the musical landscape. So yeah, that's where my energy is at, is remaining independent artist and owning my music. So that's important for me, and I think every artist should do that if they're capable.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love Pusha T's line in 18 Wheeler with Benny the Butcher where he says, he's like, I ain't gonna give you 50-50, you ain't half of me. And I feel like that's such like a like you like it rings like so far for like an artist. It's like you think about it, you're like, yo, I put in the work, I made the lyrics, I chose the beat, I chose the arrangement. Like, if anybody deserves a
Yeah,
percentage, it's like the producer and the manager. But it's like, why would I have to give that to a label? Like, I could make things happen for myself. And I think the best part about it is it teaches you like how to manage a business essentially, because you yourself becomes a business at that point. You know?
absolutely. And the knowledge is out there if you seek it. Like, we're in the land of the internet. You could go to YouTube University at this point. So the knowledge is out there. But I feel like there are, certain roles behind the scenes that you need people to fill. I don't think realistically, like even Chance the Rapper, he's not doing realistically every single role by himself.
Yeah.
But that comes with time, to have people that you trust that can manage you or be your, entertainment lawyer, things of that nature. But to have like basic knowledge of how the music business runs, and basic knowledge about your splits and your masters that you own is extremely important. And I think if every artist doesn't know that, they should.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. You know, he doesn't do 100% everything, but it's like, you know, he knows at least where to assign each duty to. And those people
Exactly.
they're 100% about him. You know, they're not 100% about their pockets. Like, you're about your pockets, obviously, but at the same time, it's
Yeah.
all about the benefit of the artist, because if we could benefit the artist, then the artist is going to benefit us. And it goes full circle.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where that's where
Absolutely.
that's where a lot of these, you know, younger artists, they're really like losing their sight on, is because they get put in front of them a huge number that they've never seen before, and it's like I can't help but take it. And obviously in some situations it's like you almost have no other choice because you're just like living in a do or die kind of situation. But
Yeah.
I try to always anticipate, or not anticipate, to like encourage the artists that come on this show, you know, to try and understand that kind of side of things. And it's good that you have your head wrapped around that. That's a huge thing. Now
Yeah.
getting back to like the creative side of things, you mentioned, you know, music's always been a part of your life. Was there any specific artist you felt that was like influence as far as like lyrically, you know, the sound you wanted, or like a visual that you saw that just like inspired you to be like, this is, you know, the direction I feel like I want to take, but put my own twist on it?
When I was growing up, I was a really big Wayne fan. I was a really big Missy Elliott fan. I think those artists kind of pushed me and inspired me so much. Missy Elliott, just the creative mind that she has, and seeing that there was no limit into creativity and your imagination. I thought that was insane. And then Wayne, just like being from the South and people downplaying, lyrical abilities from people from the South, and somebody like Wayne who just demolished that stigma and could out rap anybody, gave me, also inspired me to up my pen game as well growing up. And then it kind of just, I branched out as you get older, listen to other artists, of course, like Pharrell and Jay-Z and things of that nature. So, yeah, I think Wayne and Missy are kind of the starting points for me when I was like, I want to take this seriously, and they inspired the hell out of me. So,
Well, I think that's actually a good combination of artists to kind of like help describe your artistry, because you have that like punchline bar for bar style like Wayne, but you have that
yeah,
animation and liveliness of like Missy Elliott. And it's really dope to
yeah,
see. Like, that's a great combination, honestly. Like, I wouldn't even have thought to say that. So it's really dope that you brought like those two up, because I could see exactly where they both influence you. And even like Jay-Z and, you know, the other artists you mentioned, I could kind of see that in there. But like the two that like really, like right when you hit it, a light bulb came on just about like Lil Wayne and Missy Elliott. That's like really your lane. And like that's really a combination not a lot of people see. Now, you were mentioning from the South. I wanted to ask, are you from Atlanta or are you from Florida?
No, I'm from Fort Myers, Florida, born and raised. I spent some time in Miami. I lived there for like 3 years, and now I'm in Atlanta. But yeah, I'm from Florida.
Okay, because I was about to say, like, I see all like the Florida people like posting about you. I seen you have shows with like Mikey Moore and people like that. Shout out Mikey and them.
Yeah,
They've been on the show before as well. But yeah, shout out
yeah,
Florida. I was wondering if you were a Florida girl or not. And you know, Fort Myers is definitely an
hell yeah.
area you don't really hear a lot of people coming out of. But Fort Myers is a nice little spot. Honestly, the west coast of Florida, it's really a chilling ass spot.
Yeah,
It's not really known for like the culture or anything like that. But it's a dope little vibing
yeah.
spot. But so you moved to Miami. What made you move to Miami? Was it like due to you trying to work on music?
Yeah, it was definitely music. My producer, Lemieux, who's still my producer at the time, we were living in Fort Myers, and he had an opportunity as a producer to work under some Grammy-nominated producers in Miami, and was, kind of like, I feel like you should move as well, and convinced me to move. So I just moved within a couple months after that, and I was in Miami for a few years, which they have a beautiful scene out there. Yeah, shout out to Miami. So that's South Florida is very special to me. It's home. It's where I was born and raised. So I'm a Florida girl to the death. But I'm in Atlanta right now, being cold as shit.
Okay, yeah, you're being cool. Well, what brought you to Atlanta now?
Yeah,
Is that more of like opportunity presenting itself to you?
yeah, absolutely. It's just music opportunities. I kind of go where that leads me at this point. But also, I really love Atlanta. The creative community out here is really awesome. I have been traveling back and forth for a couple of years from South Florida to Atlanta all the time with shows, and I just have really great friends that live out here as well. And I was just like, this is an amazing spot to be a creative, and I want to. And they have so much culture out here, just a rich culture, especially in rap and hip hop. So yeah, it just aligned. Everything just aligned for me to be in Atlanta, and here I am.
Nice. Well, yeah, I always hear great things about Atlanta and like the culture and how united they are musically. But it sounds like you're like a
Yeah,
little musical nomad over there. You know, just any opportunity that pops up, it's like fuck it, I'm with it. I'm about to be out there. That's what's up though.
yeah, for sure.
That's what you got to
Yeah,
do. Honestly, I aspire to have that kind of courage at times because at times, like, you know, those kinds of things pop up and I'm like, but if I leave South Florida, like, what's going to happen? But then I'm starting to get that, you know, like mindset of like home is always going to be here. Like, you're always going to have home. You can always go back home. But yeah,
yeah. Like
I'm
I'm
working
literally
on that.
flying back to. Yeah, like I'm flying back to Fort Myers tomorrow to be with my fam. Like I'm always back and forth. But I also love traveling too, and I love to experience when I fall in love with cities. Like I want to spend some time there, whether it's a couple months, a couple weeks, or sometimes it's a couple years, and kind of just experience that city. And I think that's beautiful as well. It helps my creativity.
That's what's up. Yeah, I mean, for me, like I do a lot of traveling, but like as far as like traveling for opportunity, that's what I gotta like make the most out of. So it's dope to hear that like you're making sure that no opportunity goes to waste, that you're maximizing every single chance you get. Um, I mean, you really sound like you got a good head on your shoulders as far as like being like a music mind goes, because it's not all about just like rapping and making music. It is about as well like being a cautious and aware artist as far as like the business around you and the opportunities that could present itself and how to maximize those opportunities to the best. And even networking is a huge thing with social media nowadays. I mean, literally how
Oh
I
yeah,
found out about you was Instagram. I literally saw
yeah,
you get posted one day. I'm like, okay, let me just check this out, because it was like the third or fourth post I saw, put on Give 'Em
yeah.
Hell, and I literally put it on like repeat like the next 3 4 times. It was just one of those projects that it was just like, even when it ends, you're down to just play it right back because it just got that vibe to it. And I can't say it
That's
enough, it's
funny.
one hell of a project, Cherele. I mean, like, kudos to you on that. You literally gave them hell.
Thank you, thank you.
Anytime. How
I
did you
I
come up
tried.
with that phrase though? I wanted to actually ask that, the tag, like, give them hell, Cherele. Like, what made you think of that?
Well, there's a couple influencers. Like that one influencer is an artist named Key from Atlanta. Had a crazy mixtape called "Give 'Em Hell." I think it dropped in like 2014, 2014, 2013. Don't quote me on that. But he is one of the greatest artists of our generation. That's my personal opinion
No,
and
he is underestimated.
influence. Yeah, yeah, and it was kind of like one of those things. I was kind of paying homage to that, and I also wanted to bring the feel of like Wayne mixtapes back. And when he used to rap on any everyone's beats, and also it was tying into which you'll see. I'm working on a next project as well. It was just tying into opening up for this new character of mine and accepting my shadow. So it tied into artistically where I'm heading, but it also had some inspiration from me paying homage to past artists that I thought were dropped crazy mixtapes. And it was the Key, the Wayne, so that's where that came from.
Okay, okay, I like it. One thing I was gonna say, you were saying like another persona of yours.
Yeah, it was the if you've been watching, you've been a fan for a minute, I kinda switched it up. I felt like people forgot that I could rap for real. So the mixtape Cherele is is back, and so that was, Give 'em Hell was the first preview of that.
Okay, I could dig it. Yeah, because the other songs I was hearing that weren't on Give 'Em Hell, they sounded way different. Like this really was just like you just rapping, like literally just. Let me just
Yeah,
show y'all I got bars. Let me show y'all that I can out rap the men and the women all around me. But yeah,
yeah,
I
I felt
really
like
fuck
people
with it.
forgot. So I had to bring them back.
Yeah, but one thing I like about the whole persona idea is the other side of this podcast is wrestling. I love wrestling, and like wrestling is all about like having that persona and adapting to it. And it's like one thing with wrestling like today is a lot of wrestlers now that they're social media, they get out of character once they're on social media, and it kind of takes away from the quality of like the product. So I think it's cool like
Ah,
when like
yeah.
an artist is able to kind of like flex those same personas because like they always say the best wrestlers are the ones that put their real persona together but just turn it up to 11. Now it's like with
Yes.
rappers, like they
Yeah.
got that, but it's like since you're making music, like since there's so many different sounds, you have multiple personas almost at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. I love blending them personally. But that is a persona itself.
Yeah, and it's not even like it's a persona like you're putting on a facade. Like it's like within you. It's
Nah.
just like another side of you. It's like how like I love wrestling, but like I also love baking with my girlfriend, just to be completely honest. Like
Yeah.
those are two completely
Yeah.
separate sides, but it's like, that's two different sides to me. So it's like for you, what do you feel like attributes to one side of Sherelle versus like the rapping side of Sherelle?
Um, there's one side of me definitely where I listen to a lot of different music, a lot of genres, and a lot of different sounds. So there's one side of me that's very more experimental, you know, and it doesn't even have to just be about rap. It's just about making really great music, making great songs. There's that side of me as well. And then there's just the rapping ass side of me. And that's kind of where I'm at right now musically. But I've definitely been on a journey and been experimenting with sounds and songwriting capabilities throughout all of this. Uh, so yeah, Give 'Em Hell was more focused on that side of me, the rapping side of me, and that's what I wanted to showcase.
Okay, okay, I could dig it. Is there anything we could expect from you going into this new decade? Not even just 2020, you got a whole new decade coming up. I mean, what do you feel like you're going to be providing to the fans, or what the fans can anticipate from Sherelle?
Yeah, I'm trying to be worldwide with it this new decade. So it's going to be consistent content and more new music for sure, but being on a way bigger platform with it. I just feel like I'm one of the best out of Florida, and it's going to be proven this decade.
Hey, I'm putting my stamp on that. You are so far one of the best out of Florida that I've heard. Definitely the dopest female MC I've heard out of Florida. I do want to let you know that right now. Is there any artists you're looking forward to working with in 2020, or that you have something maybe a little stashed away in 2020 that's maybe coming out that the fans could look forward to?
Yeah, I'm definitely keeping it Florida. So Mikey Moore, uh, Gat, you know, those are two artists that maybe already worked with, and you'll hear it in 2020. But yeah, the Florida scene I always pump back into. So just look forward to me doing more collaborations within that.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I could dig it. Keep it all organic, keep it all homegrown, all that good stuff. But is there anything you would want to shout out to the people before we wrap things up? Any social medias, any shows they can anticipate, or anything you just want to let them know about going into 2020?
Yeah, make sure y'all follow me on Twitter and IG by Cherele, Bycherele. You can find my music and all of my bios with that. So yeah, link me up.
All right, lit. Well, y'all follow Sherelle. She said it already, at by Sherelle, Bycherele, I think it was, or ELE, you said?
Cherele.
There you go. I'll get the spelling down. I wasn't always the strongest speller, but I got you on that. But yeah, make sure y'all follow her up. Make sure you listen to that Give 'em Hell. Keep an eye on her 2020 because this is an artist you don't want to miss out on. If y'all want to follow us on social media, you absolutely can. That would be at Emano Talk. That's at EMANOTALK. You could subscribe, rate, and review on all major podcast platforms. We're now officially on iHeartRadio as well. So if you have iHeartRadio, definitely get on there and let us know how you feel about the show. We would definitely appreciate all criticism. You can also listen to the show completely free on emanotalk.com. And we have our merch on sale for about a little over another week. So make sure if y'all were planning on getting some, jump on that now before it's gone forever. I want to thank our sponsor, Marie's Baked Munchies. We're having our first official Christmas barbecue this Wednesday on Christmas Day to launch their first batch of goodies. So if you know you're a guest, friend, or family of the show, definitely let me know if you want to pull on up. You're more than welcome to. It's just a bunch of good vibes, good food, good people. So let me know if you want to pull up. But yeah, make sure you check out that Cherele, that Give 'em Hell. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Take it easy.